All right, well, I'll get started. I'm Kathleen Sweeney with Bookbrush. I'm the marketing lead and customer service manager here. And I've met some of you before at webinars and things, and some folks might be new to Bookbrush, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a nice little overview of some of the things that are new. So let's jump in. I'll do screen sharing. That's better to look at. Oops, get that picked. All right, and I do want to open up the chat window. If you want to tell me in the chat, so it should be flashing at the bottom. If you're new to Bookbrush or if you've used Bookbrush before, sometimes that helps me get a feel for the group. Either one is fine, no pressure either way. And then we will get started. We've got one that's new to Bookbrush. Okay, so two new. Oh, I love showing off the Bookbrush tools. To really anybody that will sit still, but also for new folks, that is awesome to me. Okay, then this helps me figure out where I'm going to take it to start. Okay, so we'll step back and talk about. So Bookbrush is a platform designed specifically for authors to be able to create marketing images, social media graphics, a wide variety of materials that you need for book promotion and book marketing. It's an online platform, which means that when you sign in or join, you can join for free, and then you can decide if you like the tools, if you do want to purchase a paid plan, but it's a website. So you're not having to download anything to your computer in order to use it. You'll just sign on to the website. And it's also really nice because that way we add new templates and new bells and whistles quite often. So every time you sign in, whatever we've added is right there for you. This is being recorded too, and I see somebody said their internet's giving them a little bit of a fit. So I'll send the recording out once we're done today when I get it back from Zoom. So if life doesn't cooperate for you to watch live, you'll have the recording as well. Now, as we go along, feel free to ask questions in the chat window. Sherry, if you see one that I'm missing, flag me down or unmute and jump in. I'm going to start with the custom creator. So when you sign up at Bookbrush, you can create and download 15 images for free. So it's a really nice way to get a feel for the tools and see how it might work and how you like it. So that's the tool we'll look at first. So this is the sign on page here, our welcome page. And you'll see it says choose a tool to begin, and you're going to hop into custom creator. This is our flagship tool. It's the first thing we built, and we're always adding new things to it. In here, you can create ads from scratch, or you can use templates, either one, and they're both available to free and paid users. The nice part for paid users is you can do unlimited downloads. So once you get in there, and if you're enjoying it, you can crank out a whole bunch of graphics and things like that. If you wanted to do an image from scratch, you'll use the tools on the left, and you'll see we have a lot of different social media icons. So there's Facebook, for example. And when you scroll down, there are a lot of different sizes and images and things all associated with Facebook, with the dimensions and pixels underneath. So you don't have to go out there and Google what size you'll need. Other things are in here like Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. We have the BookBub size. Special note, BookBub's real tiny. It's 300 by 250 pixels. So that's one where we would suggest just use it if you're doing BookBub. Anywhere else, it can look a little blurry and pixelated. It's not your fault or theirs, or it's just teensy anywhere else. We have the TikTok size. I want to make special note, and we will do an example of this one. Under the Amazon logo, we now have a template for that cool stacked, it's the A+ Amazon content, that's stacked images. And just real quick, I'm going to click over to the Amazon tab. If you're not familiar with it, in the last, I'd say 6 to 8 months, they've given permission for independent authors to put this with their books instead of just publishers. And so what it looks like in Amazon are these 3 stacked images that form a picture. And so people were wondering where could they create those. And now in Bookbrush, we have this template. If you click this, it's got the different green lines. So you're designing one image, but it'll download in those 3 pieces that you need to post on Amazon. So it's pretty handy to do it that way. I see a quick question from Carol that says, or asks rather, what are copyright restrictions on the images and templates? So everything that we put together as a community template is free for commercial use. And then if you do a search in here for background images, those source from Pixabay, and it's set to pull the ones that are free for commercial use. But I'll show you, there's a way you can double check that just so you can see with your own eyes that it is that those are the ones that you have selected. Additionally, you can bring in your own images. So if you've purchased images or you're more comfortable with that, you can bring those in too. So good question. Just a couple other things that are available under the sizes in here. We recently partnered with Atticus, and this is a kind of a new book formatting platform. And our piece of it, because we're pretty much graphics and images oriented, our piece is where you can do those ornamental breaks in your chapters and things, or the chapter art that might go on each chapter header. You can do those image elements and fun things like that. Story Origin templates are in here. So if you are using Story Origin to do a group promo, you can crank out those group promo banners in here easily, and a template for the reader magnet if you're doing that too. We have email headers under card, neat options so you can design business cards and postcards in here. And then under other, we have folks who have designed bookmarks and coasters and things, basically swag for readers, ideally for in-person events, but you can ship them. So, you know, even if we're at home, you can create those and share those with your fans too. So I'm going to choose a Facebook ad size, and we'll click on Facebook ad. And this is how you would go about designing an image from scratch if you're interested in that. You'll do the steps on the left in any order. So we have background, book template, text, images, and brand new this week, you're in the right place at the right time, we have elements. So those are brand new too. I'm going to start with book template. And this is a place that I think Bookbrush really shines. So there are a lot of nice design tools out there, but they're not all specifically for authors. So you might find that we've kind of stripped away the things that are for everybody, but we've really beefed up what's handy for authors. And this is an example of this. We have now over 170 3D templates here where you can display your book. And right now they're showing with a sample book cover. But let me scroll here. Cover reveals, lots of cool things. So because there are a bunch, you can filter. So I'll zip back to the top. If you select physical book, you'll see all the physical book options in here. Ebook, we've got a lot of choices in here, and you'll notice the ebooks actually face every which way, whereas these physical book ones are positioned so you don't see the spine. So all you're needing to bring in here is your 2D cover, and then it'll magically turn into a 3D version. We have options under phone. I'm pretty excited about this new pink one. I'm easily excited, but I thought that one's really fun. Audio options. And so some have just the headphones, and then some are the square format. So either one. Hands basically means we have hands attached to the book or the device. So that can help you create kind of a neat looking ad in that manner. And then reveal has a lot of really great options. So you could work your way through a really nice cover reveal promo showing different rips and bits of your cover. So there's lots of neat things in there. And actually, if you were wondering, where do people get those? You can get those in here. And let's see. I don't know if we have children's book authors, but we have some choices for that in here. Under other, you can put your book in a picture frame, a Polaroid picture. And then we also added some computer screenshots. So in a different type of marketing, if you're wanting to promote your own website or share things like your YouTube channel or your Amazon page with your readers, you can bring in a screenshot instead of a book cover and put it into a computer. So it's a fun way to promote your marketing that way too. And then let's talk about Kindle Vella for a minute here. If anybody is doing Kindle Vella, or if you're not familiar, it's written in a story episode format. And then what they're asking for is a square story image that they display as a circle. So if you're doing that type of marketing, or you're doing that writing and you want to do the marketing for it, we have some nice templates for that too. So we'll just grab an ebook here and we can click. So when you find one you want to use, you'll click. I'm going to click the second one down on the left. And then that takes you to the book covers you've already loaded. Or if you're new, you can just click drag and drop or click to upload and bring your covers in. So I grabbed a couple of Sherry's covers here, so we'd have something familiar to work with. New to me, probably familiar to you. So when I'm clicking this spinning in the background usually means something good is happening here in Bookbrush land. So it became 3D. Now you're in control. You can click, move it around the image. You can single click for quick editing in this top gray stripe, like the slider and so forth. But you can also double click for more editing over here. And then I like to share hidden gems. My favorite way to resize is actually just hold shift and drag the corner, and that keeps it in proportion as well. What I mean by that is if you drag the side, it could get a little wonky, which is a technical term, wonky. And if you don't want that, you can use the undo button in the upper left corner. It is at times nice, especially for children's authors, you can just adjust it a little, but for the most part, with things like this, you probably want to keep it in proportion. You can add as many book templates as you want. So it could be a series of your ebooks or physical books. Another nice idea is a collage. So we could go back to book template. We could choose a physical book and I'll click it. And then I'm choosing the same book cover. So basically in this image, we're showing the readers different ways they can get it. Ebook, physical book. You've got both of those without coming out and saying, oh, here's all the ways you can get my book. So we'll resize this one here. And then any elements that you have in the workspace, you can layer with the two little arrows in the lower right corner. So we can send that back and in front. So, and you know, if you have 3 or 4, you can just layer all of those in there. So those are the book templates. Next, we'll go down to text. Click add a new text box. And I'll put in what a page turner. You'll have specific quotes and things that you might want to use, but we can put that in there. We can move it anywhere we want. You're still in control, so you can shift things around, move them, whatever seems to suit you. With the text editing, the top section is the text itself, and then the next section is the text background. So if you want a background on your text box, you can add that. As far as hidden gems in here, I think the font has a lot to offer. So when you come in font, you'll find a lot of nice default fonts, and they are displayed here the way they're going to look when you click on them. But here's the hidden gem. When you click at the top for add more fonts, this links you to 1,000 different Google fonts, again, free for commercial use, that you can look through and add to your list. So I tend to filter up here, like I like the display and handwritten. Well, I love font, but there's so much to offer in here. So you can look through, and if you see something that kind of catches your eye, you can just click. So let's say in the first column, I like this third one down. I'm just check marking it, so it will be on my list for me. And this is all available for free. A neat little paid feature is over here on the right. You can upload your custom font. So if you purchase the font that is on your book cover and you want to use it in your marketing images, you can bring that in too. All right, so we'll click out of there. When we click on the font now, you can see the just added font is there for you, and we can center it. I also love to talk about the color picker. So anytime you've already got a color, this is white, you can click in here. The existing color is in this circle, but the eyedropper next to it lets you bring this over and match whatever's in the center. So now, without knowing the color code, we've got the complementary same matching color from her book cover. This is nice because not all reds are created equal, or you want it to look nice, not clashy. So this way you can match it. You can also adjust the text shadow here, and that can give you some definition and some interest, so you can play with that. I mean, you can add multiple text boxes. We'll go with just the one. And then let's look for background. So when we were talking about background here, I mentioned you source from Pixabay, so it will search millions of free images, and you can search there. This is where you can also upload your own. And then we also rotate through some sample search topics here, because sometimes you're just like, I don't know what to pick. So that can give you some ideas in here. So I'm going to search, and these are kind of different things. Gray texture. So maybe we don't want a whole image. You just want something that looks neat in the background. So we can click, it puts it into the background. I like these kinds of things because they don't really compete. They also are kind of a go-to for me because I didn't read the book. So that helps me find something that I think looks nice with the cover. So let's say we went with this background. If you wanted to check for the license and source, you can click the little oval in the top right corner of this thumbnail here. And there's a hyperlink for the license and source. So I'll just do this one so you see. What you're looking for, if you do want to double check this, is over here on the right where it says free for commercial use. So then you know you're okay. That's what it's going to pull. But people sometimes, you want to see it for yourself. So then we're set with the background. You can double click for some editing. Some tips I have for the background are sometimes to just blur a little bit. So the benefit here is when the background's blurred, you know what the reader's eye will settle on is what's in focus, which is your beautiful book cover. So you can play with the blur. You can blur a whole bunch or just a teeny bit, but you can play with that. And then there are also overlays that go on top and filters. So if you wanted to change, this one's kind of gray anyway, but if you wanted black and white or different things in here, you can do that. So then we can go ahead to images and elements real quick. Images has 3 tabs, which are community stamps, my images, and searchable. Community are basically what we at Bookbrush provide for you all in the Bookbrush family. And people can add, just click and add these different things like the stars, for example, can bring that over. And then if you can resize, if you change your mind, just delete with the garbage can. But there's a wide variety. These decorative stamps are pretty fun. So feel free to explore in here. There's some pre-made text ones for you to use, so those can be easy. And effects, seasonal, so look through there and explore. And then in elements, these are what we added this week, and these really help you if you're wanting to match your branding, because you can do the color picker on these kind of things. Something I might try in here will be a blob, which doesn't sound appealing, but it's real cool. So if you click on see all, these are just interesting little shapes that you can put in here. So we can grab this one. So I'm going to double click and we'll make it really large. And we're going to rotate it around here. Now I need to send it behind. So each one click per element. So one click for the text box and then get it behind here. And now we're going to do just kind of a bit of a blur, but it helps your text stand out. You could try different colors if you wanted to have it be a lighter color. And then this, you could adjust the transparency, but it's a super neat way to have a way to highlight things. So we are pretty excited about those things too. All right, so let me check and see. I have a question that came just to me to how to enlarge the screen here. And I'm not sure if you're talking about the viewing that you have or if you're working in Bookbrush. So for Bookbrush itself, you can adjust your zoom percentage. So if you want it larger, you can zoom in or you can zoom out. So that's an idea when you're working in there. And perhaps if it's for your viewing, that might work for you too. So hopefully that answers that. Next, what we would do is we would suggest save as a project in the top stripe. So save as a project. This will save it just in your account for you, so you can come back and make changes later. And then if you're ready to download, you'll click download in the top stripe and you can download as a PNG, JPEG, or a PDF. So on the free plan with your 15 images for free, it's not until you click download that it deducts one of the credits. So there's an image from scratch. Now, what a lot of folks like to do is keep the same look and feel across multiple marketing platforms. So with that in mind, you can easily go back to ad size on the left. And let's say you also wanted something like this for Instagram. You can choose the Instagram size here. And then don't panic, everything's right here. We have what I fondly call the eye icon. It's like an eyeball here in the lower right. That just lets you see what's outside the area. So for us here, it helps us. I'm going to take these books and just resize. I'm going to move in a speedy fashion right here. I'm resizing each book a little bit. We'll bring in our blob, and you can adjust a little bit if you want a little bit more transparency, always in control of how that's going to look here. And now we created a similar image with the same elements. So it's nice because it stays on brand for you. And you can save this one and download it as well. And you could move to Pinterest and other ones if you need to. The paid plans have unlimited downloads, so it's easy to do a lot of things, lots of different images. And then it's in your account as a project, so you could come back and swap in a completely different background to try something different for a different marketing campaign. So the next thing I'm going to show you are templates, which is like a pre-made version of this. But if you guys have questions on anything we've done so far, and I know I'm a fast talker, I just have so much excitement about what we're going to look at here, but let me know, either type them in or even unmute since it's a small group. And if you're typing, I'll come back. So I'll just keep moving here because I do have a lot. We have a full hour, I think. Okay, so that'll be good. On the left, I'm clicking on templates and projects. So the two tabs in here, the My Projects tab are the things in your account. So when you come in, you'll see the things that you saved. Nobody else sees those. And then the next tab are community templates. This is a gold mine. So our graphic designer puts together all kinds of things. We have over 3,000 now, and we add new ones each month. And this is just a way for you to get started, but you can edit everything that's in here. So it's really fun. Different ideas here on the left. If you want to narrow down and filter, you can filter by genre. And this can be multiple. So it could be mystery, thriller, and crime if you wanted to choose all of those. And then definitely dig around in platform because, of course, there's Facebook ad, which you would expect to see. BookBub ad. And remember, even if you see it in a BookBub size, you can change the ad size, lickety split in the other tool. Newsletter, like you're inviting people to follow or join your newsletter. So those are nice. Bookmark templates. Business card templates. So if you want to spruce up your business card, or if you're doing the ones with like a free code, you can design those in here. And let's see here. Instagram stories are in there, a whole section for Kindle Vella. And even if you like some of these, you could just, if you're not doing Kindle Vella, you could delete the book template and put in one that works for you. Launch party, so a whole section for that. And even a fun little section called quotes. So if you're wanting to keep your social media feed rolling, but you're, thinking of variety, try some of these book or reading centered quotes and things in here. So let's go back out here. I'll click on one and show you how easy it is to personalize. So once it's here in the workspace, you'll click on the book template, and then it says swap covers at the top. So we can put in one of her covers. And then you really wouldn't have to change anything else as long as you like how it is. Just takes a minute for it to convert. And I promise when you're not streaming live, it's probably a little speedier. So here's this image. You're all set. Now, if it's not a cover reveal, we could just delete this one. So you just use the garbage can here. Come on over to book template, and maybe you want to do a phone. We can grab that one. And it'll just take a minute to load here. And then you would change the wording. So I'm going to click that, and we'll actually use the slider. Oh, that got pretty jumbo. And put that and make it a little bit smaller, I think. And we'll do the layering. So we'll send it behind our crime scene tape here. And I like that you get to be in charge of the positioning. So for example, you can make it so it's not covering your name or a part that you don't want it to miss. And we could even make that a little bit larger. So we still get the Sherry and the title. And then up here, we could just take this and put Miss, I think this one is this book too? We'll pretend it is. You don't know what you're getting yourself into when you say, sure, you could use my books. Anyway, you can change this to works for your needs. And that's an easy fix, easy to personalize these. And I love that it gives you a starting point. So you're not staring at this blank screen with no idea what to create. So feel free to give those a try. So we have more things in there to look at, but let's see if the chat window. There's a question, does Bookbrush only create ads or does it actually create the covers? So we do have a cover creator, which we will look at, and we can do book trailers, box sets, really soup to nuts. So if you really need to start, and you can create your book cover in here, and then you can save it in here and transition to making all of your marketing graphics. It could be a one-stop shop, all in one marketing toolbox for you. So let me show you some more cool stuff in community templates. Now these are paid features, but they're pretty neat. Under collections, we have two things I want to talk about: animated mockups and animated email signatures. So the animated mockups are on all the paid plans, and these combine all this cool stuff. So you've got animation, video background, music, and your book cover all in one handy need. It's awesome. So let me show you a sample one here. You can kind of hover and see what they're going to do, but we'll click on one. Now, if you want to sample and see what it's like before you do any editing, you can. There's a play button in the top stripe, so we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll pause it there. It's actually 19 seconds long, but you can shorten it. Now, if you like it, or you kind of like what's happening there, you can personalize. So you'll swap in your book cover. And then if the text doesn't quite work for you, or you want to change it, as soon as the book's in here, we'll do some modifying. So we can take this, and it could be like it's an announcement. Coming February 15th. And maybe since this font down here is called Creepster, and maybe this wasn't, you don't need it creepy, we can change it. I'm pretending this is book 2, even if it's not. So we'll just do that, and we'll change it to something a little different and give this a try. We'll pause there. The modifying and stuff extends to a lot more than this. So we'll click the background. Let's say you only wanted a little 12 seconds. And so when you're shortening it here, it's shortening in the top, and then you could click to add size. And if you wanted to do it for TikTok, for example, we can resize, and then that handy eye icon. So I'm going to resize this so it actually kind of sits together. We'll bring the book in, and if you like some of the flames more than others, you can adjust that. And now we have this cute little version. Well, maybe flames aren't cute, attractive version for. So really the only thing that's not able to substitute is the music that's included. So what you hear is what you get as far as that, but everything else you could add more. In fact, you could add more books to it. You can add more text. You can change what's in there, but they're really fun starting points. So people really like those animated mock-ups. Let me pick one that's totally different. How about St. Patrick's Day? We're getting there. Okay. So it goes on for 14 seconds. You can shorten it, you can change the size, you can put in more books to do more things with it, but what a cool starting point. So feel free to get in there and try those out. And we'll do the animated email signatures in here too. So here's the thing. This is not a secret that authors like to email readers and sell books. If you can make your email stand out a little bit with an animated email signature, it seems like that would be a cool idea to do. So we'll just test drive one here. We can push play in the top stripe so you can see how it would work. So the animation is all there for you. And then this works just like the other tools do. You would click the text box, for example. We'll put me in here. I'm actually not an author, but I like to read. So if you guys keep writing, then I'm in good shape for reading. But we'll just resize this here and pick, a font that suits you. We have been doing, and I find this really fun, font pairings once or twice a month for different genres. And we post them in our Facebook group and on our Instagram page, and people are really liking those. So if you're looking for font ideas, you can check those out. And then we can substitute if you have a website. We'll pretend that I do. So we'll put in this. And then the books are easy to substitute. We'll swap covers. We're going to share. So we'll put your books in, but we'll use my name. Nobody sees this but us. So we'll swap these in here. And then the only other thing you're probably noticing is this is not a picture of me or Sherry. So what you can do is bring your picture in my images. So in the images section, this middle My Images tab is where you can bring in your own picture. And I'm in here already, but I'm going to do it again so you can see the full deal. So I have it on my desktop and I'm bringing this in. And my husband took the picture and he's no photographer. So don't feel like you need some really awesome picture. This can work. Now, what we're going to use is called background removal. And it uses artificial intelligence to peel the background away. And we can click these three little dots here on the thumbnail and click remove background. And this will work on a picture with a person, an animal, a product, or a vehicle. And so it's just magically removing the background. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll click on this man and you can see that his animation is set up over here for zoom in, but you can pick something different. So we'll go ahead and say goodbye to him with the garbage can. Now here's where I think Bookbrush is pretty redeeming for your picture. So it's an image in your account and you've got the filters to use. So like I can choose these filters and lighten it up and it really improves things. So that helps. You could also flip, side to side. When it's a picture of you, it looks awfully funny the other way, but for other people, it probably looks fine. Then you can use the layering. So we'll send this in front and behind. And I can add my own animation, just so you don't miss the animations. We have see all 100. And these are attention grabbers like bounce, flash, shake. I could make myself jello, so fun things there. And then there are entrances that combine with exits. So if you were doing this with books or text, they could fade in left and fade out right, those kinds of things. But I'll just have myself fade in down. And here we go. So quick and easy way to do an animated email signature. Now, if you do these or anything with animation like the mock-ups and so forth, when you click save as a project, it's going to save as a little mini GIF or GIF in there for you. So we're almost there. And then I'm going to show you our YouTube channel. We have a playlist in there that helps you get from, I downloaded the email signature in Bookbrush. Now, how do I get it over to my email provider? This is a sample of the little mini version that it does. And then I'll click on my YouTube link here. So this is our YouTube channel. And on the playlist, they're like 2 to 3 minutes long, and they help you if you want to upload it or add it to Gmail, MailChimp, MailerLite, or Microsoft Outlook. If you use a different platform, I'm sure you can just Google that too, but this gives you a little help, and I'll put that into the chat window. Oops, where did I put my chat window? There we go. So if you need help with those will help you if you do an email signature, then that's how you can add it in there. So anything else that you would like to see in the custom creator before we go look at more tools, let me know. I'm going to head back to home in the top stripe here, very top left. If you're ever lost, go home, which is in general good advice. So we'll just do this. Same here. When you're in here, now that we've saved some projects and things, when you come back the next time, you'll see down here it says My Projects. And these are the top ones are the ones we just did. So it's nice to see if you did a bunch, you can see them all in one screen and look at them carefully. And you can also delete from here. So if you don't need one anymore, you could click and delete the project. And you can also go right to one. So if you came in here and you're in a big hurry to do some changes, you can click right on it and it'll take you to the project for quick editing and changing. So that's a nice little shortcut. So now we'll go back to home here and I'll show you a couple more tools that we have to offer. So instant mockups will be next. This is our most popular tool, primarily because they are awesome. So we'll click on instant mockups. And what we have in here are over 2,000 real life scenes. So if you're seeing people's books in social media feeds and things in these scenes, here's the secret. They probably didn't make their own tea and set it all up. Like I know some people do all this in their kitchen or whatever, but it is probably easier to come in here, bring your 2D cover in and just put it into all of these great scenes. So this is why this is popular, because it's very easy. We'll walk through one version. So step 1 on the left, choose your book. So I've clicked and it's outlined here. Step 2 is optional filtering. Now these are on the gold plan and higher, but if you're new and doing the free plan, under the keywords, you'll see the word free. It's just not showing in mine because I am on a paid plan, but those are there for you to give them a go. And then let me just pick some. So we'll click. So I'm not holding shift or anything. I'm just going through here and clicking some different versions. There's some Valentine ones that have kind of risen to the top because it is the season, but there's stuff that's suitable for so many different seasons, genres, different types of things. So let me scroll here for a little bit. Lots of ways to put your book in these real life scenes here. I'm super sucker for anything with a swimming pool. I'm in Illinois, you guys are in Idaho. It's not really too nice out. So a hammock, I don't even have a hammock. How nice would that be to put your book in that real life scene? So it's a way to show readers and followers the ways they can picture your book, like here at the beach, like that's pretty awesome. Different ones. Okay, so I've done a handful here. You know what, let me do, I don't know if I did a vertical. Okay, now we'll click at the bottom, step 4, convert now. And they do take about 4 seconds per image. So just maybe don't do like 200, just do a handful here. And then prepare to be amazed because these are really awesome to see once we get them downloaded. And you'll have on Gold Plan unlimited downloads on these too. Takes just a second and then they'll download in a handy zip file. So they're right in your computer and then you can do whatever you want with them right to social media. Download and we will take a look here. So this is in my lower left corner and because it's a zip file, we'll click extract all here. And we'll take a look at our handiwork. All right, here's the first one. See this hammock, I was totally sold on it. And now you've got this book in all kinds of different scenes. You didn't have to get my nails done. You've got all of this ready here. So it's easy to help your readers picture taking your book or enjoying your book in these different scenes for different book marketing choices. So those are the instant mockups, probably the easiest one to demonstrate and the easiest to use, but with super eye-catching results. Now you can also do filter words over here. Like we had a Valentine filter word at Christmas. We had that Christmas and Hanukkah in there. So we kind of rotate some of them, but you'll see different genres and different themes. Like if you're just looking for stuff with coffee, you can try and see all those different ones. And then I want to mention that we have the platinum. So our top tier has some extra ones that are a little bit more limited use. And if you see those, you'll be able to tell they have a little star in the top corner and it says platinum. So there are over 2,000 total, and right now there are 386 in this, but we add new ones to both plans each month, as well as those other templates in the other tool too. So those are instant mockups. Any questions on those before we take a look at the cover design? All right. I'll go back to home. And then, so for the person that asked about Cover Creator, this is your session here. So we'll go into book covers. And this is actually useful in a lot of spots in your writing journey. So people are designing their covers, their first cover or any cover. Some people use this to mock up what they're going to send to their designer. So that's a handy way to do it too. In ebook, you have Kindle, Kobo, Wattpad, Kindle Vella options in here, plus the Story Origin Reader Magnet and Apple iBooks. Print has paperback and now hardcover as well. So sometimes people already have their ebook cover designed, but now they're on the job of trying to get the paperback. You can just bring in your ebook cover and then design from there. So that's an option to do paperback or hardcover. And then audio has the square option too. So I'm going to do an ebook cover with you from scratch, just as a quick little sample. We'll choose Kindle. And if we were doing it from scratch, the tools on the left work just like they did in the last thing that we were in with the custom creator. So we can do a background. Let's try spooky. We'll see if my spooky and your spooky, how we get here. So you can see these different images. You could also bring in your own. I'm going to go with this forest here. And this is a nice time to use that eye icon out here. So you can pick your favorite part of the forest or whatever image you're using. So you can move it around in here. And then we're going to add text. So we need to do a book title. We will call it The Forest. If you're looking for super great naming ideas, that's not my thing, but I can do some killer images. This is actually why we also added the 1,000 fonts, so that if you were doing book covers, you would have some really great choices in here. So we'll make it super big, and then we'll grab the text box if it word wraps like that. And then I'm going to edit the text styling, center it. You can duplicate any text box with the plus button in the lower left corner. And this is a neat way to get some extra depth. Like it's the same text box, but if you scoot it around, it can kind of stack and look kind of cool. I'm going to actually take it down here though and use it for author name. Whoops. And we'll just, if I could type, we'll get that in there and then make it a little smaller. And then this is also a place where people use background removal. So I used it on the picture of me, but if you wanted to search in here, we could look for back, like the back of a person, for example. And it's those same 3 little dots. You click those and you'll click the remove background. So it's doing the same process, but instead of a picture of me, it's using it on this man here so he can be in our book cover. It also works on your own photos. So if you purchase a photo of a couple or one of those big shirtless men that people like on book covers, and you want to bring them in here, you can bring them in and remove the background. So he'll appear here. Yep, here he is. And he's just like an image in the account. So he can layer in here. When you click him, you've got the editing tools over here. So he could do a filter to lighten it up. He can flip horizontally, like he's got a bit of case of indecision here, which way to go. But he's ready for a new adventure here. And I would suggest do the same filter on your background so they kind of have that same look. And this would be fun to play with some blur, the blob, even on him. A bit of transparency might be nice. Anyway, I could get down this rabbit hole for sure, but just as a quick look, you can definitely design some covers in here. Save it as a project so you can come back and make changes. So you've got that. And then I would also recommend, we didn't talk yet about zoom in and zoom out in the lower right, but do this for yourself so you can see it as the thumbnail when folks would look at it, scrolling or see it on Amazon. And that can help you think if you want to make changes in the larger version. So that's a good idea to do. So that is ebook. We have templates. just like in the other tools, we've got great options put together by our graphic designer, and you can filter by which one you want, ebook, print, audio, or Kindle Vella, or by genre. And if you want romance, fantasy, historical, you could do an interesting combination there. And what I like about it really is it just gives you an excellent starting point. From there, you're going to edit and change, all of it, but it helps you see in your genre what might go where. So let's just click one. So it puts it here in the workspace, and then you click each box and move it and change it with your things. So the more you change it, the better. So it doesn't look like what's here, but it is a nice starting point for you. So any questions on each of these tools? I have separate sessions, and I'll show you where to find those that dig deeper into one tool at a time. So that helps you if you do want to learn more about any of these, because this is an overview where we're going over all the pieces. So let's see here. The next thing I think we're going to do will be the book trailers. Let me catch this question in here. Carol's asking, if you choose a cover template, does it get removed from the possible options for others? No, and so they're there for everybody to use, which is why I like it really just as a framework for you. So once you have this in here, you might like this, but you can move each piece. Your book's obviously going to be named something else. And even if you liked the text and stuff, you could take this background and delete it. And I have not searched volcano before, but let's just see as a crazy idea. I'm not sure why I thought of that. Now we need to make that bigger. So that's a completely different look. And even the text is all the same, but it just changed each of these different things in here. We'll make this one larger. You can also see there is an overlay with the words in there. So that's something that if you wanted to change, you could remove that, and it changes the look and feel. So it's really, I think, sometimes easier to start with this framework and change it so you have an idea of what goes where. But once you begin doing this, it's not going to look like anybody else's as long as you make a few different changes. So that's my thought. But no, it doesn't get removed. It's a template that anybody could try, which is why I would recommend change it up. All right. So let's go to, there's two ways to navigate. I keep going to home, but you can also go to tools here, and let's do a book trailer. So this is a game changer. There's all these design tools out there, but they don't all give you options for all the things we have, plus something like a book trailer. So I'm going to head into community templates. In general, I think that's a handy way in any of the tools to get started. So we'll do one of those. And we'll click in easy mode here. And before we even start editing, let me play it so you can see what we're going with here. We'll pause it there. It's got a few more seconds, but essentially there's your framework. You've got 4 different video clips and images. You need a couple different text blurbs, and then you can put together this as a book trailer. So to get started, you click get started. Top secret information here. So click get started at the bottom, and then you just work your way across the editing. So in the lower left, you have trailer elements. The first thing highlighted is this music note here, and this is where you start to do personalizing. This is the only place in Bookbrush where you can pick your own music and choose. We have over 100 types of commercial-free music over here. There's bright, emotional, epic, romantic, dark, plus hidden gem alerts. Under My Music, you can bring in any kind of music that you have permission to use. Additionally, it's not just music, it could be an audio file. So if you want to be reading a part of your book or talking, I had a lady she had this great little Scottish accent and she was the one talking in it. It was so cute. So those kind of things really help you personalize it. But with music, let's just listen to, I feel like I have Valentine on the brain. Let's look at some romantic stuff here. And you can play and some samples. So we'll push play. You can give these a listen. We'll do another one here. So let's say you're like, oh yeah, I want that one. You just click the plus button next to it and it'll tell you it's successfully replaced. You also can replace it more than once, but we'll go with that one. And then you just work your way through. So you click next in the lower right. And then here's where you start picking the images and things. So you've got on the left 4 tabs. The video camera is in the first 2. And it says search and saved. So essentially, you're either going to search for videos, which these source from Pixabay too, or under saved, you could bring in your own. So if you have video clips or, purchased them or whatever, you can bring those in. So I'm going with romance. So we'll see here. This is obviously a romantic forest. So we'll choose this one. And then you click next down here. So next in the lower right, and now we're on the text. And you would just put in where it says your passage, you would put in your first sentence and things. For today's demo, I'll just leave it saying your passage, but I'll change the font. So in our font selections, Quicksand was one of the romance ones, so I'll change it there. Now, we are in easy mode, and we have been striving to literally make this easy. If you like the more options, you can click more options, and the text editing over here looks like it does in the other tools. But with the fewer options, it feels clean and easy in here, and it's not overwhelming. So your choice is to go back and forth if you want. We'll click next. Sometimes, even though I'm thinking romance, you can drill down your search. So like candle, that can be kind of a romancy word, but it's different. You might get different videos and things. So you can look through there. We'll try this one. And then we'll click next. And I'm just going to change the font again here. So I changed it to the Quicksand just because it's kind of a romance font. Next. Now, the first 2 we did video clips. So for the next 2, I'll show you how these work. You'll choose the thumbnail with the picture on top. So these are going to be pictures with a little bit of animation. So we can look and see what the romance theme here is. And we'll look through, how about this couple on the bicycle? So we'll pop them in there. Click next. And I'll change my text again. So I'm just picking Quicksand for each one so it looks similar as we go through. And then we'll do one more picture. I'm going to pick this interesting flower. And then we are on the book template one. So we'll pretend that this one is going to be romance. Just go with it. I use your book. I just feel like these romance ones are fun for right now. Now, once I get this in here, I'm going to push stop and we'll take it from the top and we'll look at our new creation here. And I'll pause it for a second. You're in control of these parts. So if you chose a video where your text would look nicer elsewhere, you can move it around. Pausing again. This is just a picture, so it has that animation motion, but it's different than a video clip. All right, here you go. There you go. So we just did that for the non-romance book, but we managed to make a romance book trailer. I made one about a potato cookbook. So if it's possible to do that, I think you could make most anything work because you're choosing the images. So if you need it really crime or mystery or any level of heat for romance, you're picking, so you can choose things for that. It would work for nonfiction, children's, just by choosing images that suit those different things. Now we're in easy mode. I'm going to toggle in the top to advanced just for a peep. This is why I love easy mode, is here's what's behind the scenes. This whole little timeline that I'm pulling up. And if this is your jam, it's fine. You can get in on this side and edit. Like you'll see the first passage is set to hide, then zoom in left, then hide again. So they're all kind of lined up with those different backgrounds. And you can bring more things in and edit in here, but then you can go right back over to easy mode where it feels like comfortable and things. So that is pretty much the whole thing. Let me mention also, we didn't talk about box sets, but we have a box set creator that you can do images for that too. Now let me get caught up in the chat. For the person asking, I think it's just to me about the recording. I'll send it out to everybody that registered after we're done, and then Sherry will have it too and can share it with folks who didn't get to register too. So that will be fine. Let's see, does Bookbrush retain any rights to the covers and ads? Nope, anything that you download from here is yours to use however you want. We don't actually have it saved, or you have it saved in your account, but we don't have it for us to use. It's yours. So good question. So let's go back to the home page, and I want to talk about the tiers that we have if you decide at any point you're interested in joining the Bookbrush family. And I have a coupon code too. So when you're on the main page, you'll see there's a tab up here called pricing, and that just kind of walks you through the plans. We have, let's see here, Plus, Gold, and Platinum are the tiers. So after the free plan, these are the paid plans. They're for single authors. They're paid once a year. So it breaks it down monthly, but you just pay once a year. The Plus plan is $99 a year. And that gives you access to the first tool we were in, the custom creator, unlimited downloads, unlimited animation, video backgrounds, all of the stuff. And you can do book covers. Then Gold is really the most popular, and primarily because of the really cool instant mockups. So you have everything from Plus, and then you have instant mockups, and you can do box sets. And that's $146 a year. And then Platinum is super awesome. It's $246 a year, and it adds in the book trailers. So you have Trailer Creator, Platinum mockups, and also if you are interested in background removal, it includes 10 of the background removal credits per month, and those accumulate, so it makes it kind of nice. But you can buy those on any plan. So if you need that, and that's where we did the picture of me, and then for the book cover as well. So that's an option. Those are all the options. All right, so let's go back to the home page. One of the other things I wanted to mention here, on the left-hand side, you'll see in your free account or paid, whichever, there's a little section that says webinars. This is where we have one tool at a time. And so if you need, want to dig deeper, like book trailers, next Friday, we have a session. And you can join live. We also send the recording out afterwards because we know life is tricky and people live all over the place. So these are free and you can sign up for as many as you want. They're me. So we definitely enjoy doing these. So let me put that in here in the chat for you. And then I'll get you the coupon code and I will let you get on with your Thursday. And type in questions if you have them. I'm going into the custom creator. When you are doing your projects and things in here, we have different folders in the My Projects tab as a way to keep organized. You can move your things into folders, and that is where I hid your coupon code. So it's going to be Idaho 15, which will take 15% off of any new paid plan or any upgrade. So like if you are currently, if anybody has Plus or Gold and wants to step up, you can use it. Or you can use it to purchase a new plan. And I just, before I got started here, I got excited and I added in a little extra. So if you use it within 24 hours, I'm going to drop in 5 free background removal credits because they're fun. If you already use Bookbrush, so Sherry, I'll put these in for you for sure. I'll do 5 free extra background removal credits. So a little something for everybody. The coupon code itself doesn't expire, so you can hang on to that for whenever the time is right. But just if you do use it in 24 hours, I'll add in those. I'm going to do it manually, and I do sleep at night. So if it's later tonight, and I'm in Illinois, so my time zone's different, but I'll watch for it so I can put those in for you. All right, so we are at the top of the hour. Let me know if you have questions.
This is fabulous. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I really enjoyed this.
You're welcome. Thanks for letting me use your books.
Anytime.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Well, if you guys are like me and think of things later, feel free to send us a note. In this top stripe, there is a question mark that says help, and you can click that. There's an FAQ section and also a contact us bit down here. The contact us is nice because you can indicate what type of thing you're wondering about, whether it's how to or technical or whatever. So send us a note there if you think of something later. Always happy to help.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Yep, you're welcome. So whenever I get, I'll stop the sharing here. Whenever Zoom gets me this back, I'll get it out to you all this afternoon, and then you're set.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.